Hey everybody, Al Puglisi Trains, another Friday over at Howard's. Andre, Koneczny, and I are going to be filming some more Andre runs, but I want to talk a little bit about Craftsman cars, scratch-built freight cars, passenger cars, kit cars. And I've said this before, on Howard Zane's layout, he has literally hundreds and hundreds of cars, and he doesn't buy store-bought ready-to-run cars. Now, there's nothing wrong with store-bought ready-to-run cars. I have quite a few on my layout, but Howard likes to scratch build these cars or Craftsman kit build cars. And back in the 70s, there were hundreds and hundreds of kits, wood kits, available of freight cars and passenger cars from Ambroid and other manufacturers that you could Craftsman kit build and come up with absolutely beautiful cars. Let's talk about it some. Let me show you. We've featured these cars on the layout before, folks. These are not what could have been series cars, but these are, I believe, built from Ambroid kits, and they have an incredible patina to them because they are wood. They are not plastic, and you can tell there's something different about these cars. They just don't look plasticky. They are wood. But let's go upstairs and talk to Howard and Andre more about the Craftsman car building and rolling stock building. Andre, how you doing?
Hey, good seeing you again, Al.
And Howard, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. I got both of my disciples here this morning.
Okay, I thought I was. Oh, that's right,
Oh,
both.
Yeah,
but
you're my two favorite, my two major disciples.
Yeah, I'm the guy from across the river in Virginia.
right.
Hey, you're down the street.
Well, Andre, Howard, let's talk about the difference between store-bought cars, Craftsman cars. We're talking about these beautiful wood series cars that so many of them are on the layout. We'll let you guys talk.
First of all, you cannot mention the name Wood Series car to a plastic RTR car in the same sentence.
Okay.
Entirely different. Now, there are people that model in plastic and buy plastic and so forth. That's fine.
Right.
They're happy.
Right.
The idea is to be happy in what you're doing. But
Right.
there are people that want to go above that. No, Andre and you are two examples. That's why you're my disciples. Now, Andre, for example, now you're learning structures. Andre is learning kit building. Except Andre is no longer learning, he's ready to teach
Right.
on the PhD level.
Yeah.
Now this is a car that Andre just completed. Now take a look at this thing. This is world class.
And this was what kind of kit was this, Andre?
This was a quality craft
Quality craft.
model.
All right, from what, the 70s?
Mid-70s.
Mid-70s.
Wow.
It's all wood and metal inside.
And it came essentially this box.
Well, here's an example of a kit, C&O box
Actually,
caboose.
let's put this on the right. Look a little better here.
Yeah, there
Let's
you
get
go.
this color out of here.
And if you look inside this box when you open it up, it just looks ominous.
Right.
You've got the decals, you've got the metal casting parts, you've got a ladder, a little bit of wiring, and all this wood.
And you've got to paint, and you've got to put this thing together.
Well, the most important part in this box for me is this, because without this, you have no way of knowing where all the wood goes.
Right.
So Howard just let me run with this, and the first thing you do is you kind of look at it, and you see all the diagrams there. They're all generally to scale.
Okay.
And so the manufacturer gives you all the information you need here,
Mm-hmm.
and then he does a few paragraphs, and it's a series of instructions.
Wow.
You could number them, and you'd probably have 75 steps.
Right.
Well, what I'll do, Andre, that'll be your next project. You can have that caboose kit
Well, you know,
as a gift.
I love caboose because I think they're more detailed, they're more intricate, and they draw more attention,
These,
especially on the layout.
Years ago, this was model railroading before the RTR. When I got into the hobby, the only thing RTR then was after, and a few things by MT. It was at the MTC and a few others, but everything was wood, kit built wood. Now model railroading today is still beautiful layouts are being built, but most of the stuff you see, rolling stock and locomotives are off the shelf, and there's a lot of people that are missing out on a lot of fun. Now, you built this thing. You had a lot of enjoyment building this.
Oh, challenge
You cannot
to the maximum level.
yeah, to go ahead and build something like this and see it to fruition, and in this quality, show the underbody.
Yeah.
Everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to praise this in a collection, I put $300 or $400 on a wood kit. You know, the kit's probably about $25.
Right, because it took so much time and effort to build.
Well, not so much that, but the quality.
Right. Right.
People could spend the same amount of time, but they're not going to come up with this.
Right.
Now, you guys are doing it very well on your disciplehood. Yeah, a lot of my disciples become family. So
Grab that bevel box and let's show people another example of a kit. And bevel was big.
Well, Bev Bell actually was built.
Bev
Bell was known as remanufacturer, redecaled Athearn cars.
Uh-huh.
But they had a line of wood cars that was built by Quality Craft, so it's the same builder.
Okay, let's just see again.
Same manufacturer.
Because the kit I just showed with some of the leftover wood, this is a new one
This
here.
is just pulled off the shelf. You know, Howard has almost 100 or 200 of these different kits.
No, I have in kits. I have about 1,400 kits.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. Here's the roof.
Yep.
I mean, look at this, folks. This
So-
again, this is pretty much what you're looking at.
See, there's a and you can see the age of the paper just
Right.
real simply.
I
But
think it's upside down.
is it? I'm so sorry.
Look at that. No, folks, look at this.
Keep
Look-
it real here, right?
Right, keep it real. Now, this is very challenging. If you want a challenge, if you don't have a layout, or let's say you don't have room for a layout,
Or, if I may add, if you're building dioramas like I'm doing,
Right.
you want to accent those dioramas with rolling stock rotor. Put some of these on there. I challenge anybody that builds structures, and I just started building structures about 5 years ago,
Right.
inspired by the visit to see Howard.
I'm a model railroader. I just haven't built my first car yet.
Well,
I gave you the kit.
And they're both mad at me, these guys. But
I've built a fair amount of Athearn cars that take no time.
Right.
You can make them look good with a little bit of weathering and detailing and the right paint application, but the wooden cars, the old kits like that,
they are cool.
And it's very obvious that the manufacturer gives you the license to do it any way you want to, because there's no instructions on technique.
Right.
These are simple: attach this, attach that, apply this, affix that. How you do it becomes the art of model railroading.
Right.
And I found, and Howard gave me a little secret, and I'm going to share it with you. There's a product out there that a lot of people have heard of and would never touch in a million years, and that's goo.
Right.
Howard's been a proponent of goo since
Since
every conversation we have.
for 60 years.
For
I
60
love
years.
goo.
But some of these pieces are so small, and they have to be precisely applied, and you don't want glue all over your model. So the ticket is that you apply a touch, just a little dab of the goo, and you set the piece in place so that your hands are free. And then the CA glue.
Right.
And you put it, on a pin, on a needle, on a toothpick, and just apply a drop of it. This doesn't set very quickly.
Right.
It gives you time to maneuver it.
Don't forget the accelerator.
Well, the accelerator is the key. Now, I'm going to go one step further because I'm probably more anal than the average guy. I found a bottle that has a little needle nose applicator where you turn it and one drop falls on the exact spot you want it to. The needle's about 1.5 inches long, and the bottle, I just take this and I pour it into that bottle, and then I just drop it instead of spraying it, because when you spray it, it's going to get on the model.
The accelerator, yeah.
It's an accelerator, but the moment you spray it, it's hardened. It's done. You can break it off, but you can't move it. So make sure that everything moves.
When you do this,
It's just that.
it's like the same thing as a shotgun.
Yep.
Right.
It's except it doesn't leave any residue.
There's no residue. It dries up.
You can spray this on anything, and there's no residue.
Yeah.
So that's good. So you can go ahead. It's both ways are easy.
So back to the model here real quickly. These window covers are metal, and you get them all ready, you paint them, you do whatever you have to, and then you set the model down and you put a drop of goo so that it stays in place.
Right.
And then you put a drop of the CA glue on the inside where you will never see it, and
Right.
then you put your accelerator and it's not moving.
And you decaled this as well.
Yes. Now, probably the only downside to these old kits that are from the 70s and 80s, the decals may have expired, and they become very brittle. You can't really do much with them, especially when you're looking at small decals. But here they are, and
Right.
there's nothing
And they're
special
50
about it.
years. They're 50. 50.
You're lucky if they work.
Right.
But if you're going to put fine detailing, such as let's say these little decals here, or watch your step. You've got to get modern decals. I like the brand that you've chosen.
K4.
K4.
Well, I have all brands. K4, I don't know if they have Erie. I'm sure they do. K4 decals, they use a very fine, thin film.
Yep.
And it really goes on well. Now, if you to set these things, people poo-poo waffles like Solvaset. Solvaset's about the best because it actually will dissolve the film, and it just locks into place, and it goes into the little grooves very nicely.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful finish.
These being grooved as opposed to a flat, smooth, or a plastic surface, you've got to let that set go in behind it. So a brush, very pointed brush, and you just keep adding it to it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
You just keep adding it.
You want to make sure
you
you have to get the edges also, so it gets
even if
under
the decal gets soft, that's what you really want it to do.
Right.
But
And then you go back and you spray it.
Did you paint this gloss first?
Oh, I did. I applied gloss with a brush, acrylic gloss, just in the areas that we were gonna decal.
Right.
And then that quick spray. I use that Krylon. I think you've got it too.
Yeah.
The Krylon quickly over it after it's dry.
After it's dry, yeah.
It sets up pretty good. If you put a magnifying glass on it, you can probably see where the film is, but from 6 inches away, you can't even tell.
I can't tell.
And again, folks, this video is we're not knocking the ready to run stuff. We're not knocking.
No, just
it's
different.
beautiful. There's gorgeous stuff you can go out and buy. Absolutely beautiful cabooses.
The stuff that Tangent makes, you pull that out of the box.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
But
Still, it's a mass-produced plastic item.
It is.
Right.
Now, this is a work of art.
You get a feel for the
Tangent
wood too.
is also a work of art, but it's mass-produced. It's done by somebody else.
Yeah.
So if you want to build something yourself for the enjoyment and challenge your skills, and they're not very expensive. So if you botch one like I've done, you can throw it away and not.
Or most model builders have wood pieces. You everything you got there is pretty simple.
What you said, you throw it away. Remember I told you there is nothing that cannot be fixed. You don't have to throw anything away.
Well, I'm just saying it. You might find some of these at a train show for very reasonable, $20 and grab one and build it. See where the adventure leads you. Guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks, Howard.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thanks, Al.
Thanks, Andre.
See you down at the layout.
All right.